Whitesnake was founded in 1978 by former Deep Purple singer David Coverdale. The band has earned multi-platinum albums, including Trouble, Love Hunter, Ready and Willing, and Come and Get It. Slide It In, of course, is celebrating its 35th anniversary this year with a newly remixed album. And then there's The Monster, the 1987 huge multi-million selling self-titled album, Whitesnake. From these albums came multiple top 10 worldwide hits. Now, 2 new releases of remastered, revamped, and lovingly polished albums. The 35th anniversary remastered Slide It In, and the Rock Album, a collection of songs from 1984 to 2011, remastered and remixed. It is my pleasure to be talking to David Coverdale from Whitesnake today. And I got to tell you, first and foremost, I've been listening to the new remix Slide It In 35th anniversary, and it is unbelievable, and I hear on vinyl it is even more amazing.
The vinyl Slide It In 2020 mix sold out immediately. So literally, Amazon got mine late last night, a month later, but it is there now. They've restocked, thank God. And my God, it crushes. We cut it at 45 degrees, 45 RPM instead of 33. Mm-hmm. And you'll be astonished how loud, crystal clear it is. It's thrilling.
Well, that was the first thing. Thrilling. That's the first thing I noticed listening to the album. It was how crisp it was. And not only your voice, which is amazing, but crisp, but the guitar work and some of the changes, like the title track, Slide It In, that little bit of guitar echo that's at the beginning is one of those moments in there that you're like, oh, that sounds so good. And it's not heavy-handed.
It's got its own smoke. People recognize that. It's like smoke on the water. People recognize that.
Yeah. And
so what the most important thing to realize is that these albums, a lot of these albums, just through my interaction with fans, are like sacred relics, Stephen. Mm-hmm. And they're scared shitless, even if it's me going to tamper with them. And I said, it's not tampering. It's the same house. I'm just painting a different color.
Yeah.
You know, just freshening it up. I'm just moving the furniture a bit. Don't be just, when you hear it, there's no way. And when we were remixing, I swear to God, we were determined to get the fullness of Cozy Powell's I've lost half that band, 50% of those boys, but Cozy Powell has never sounded bigger, wider.
Yeah.
And John Lord, it's the first time I think we captured what was an immense part of the Deep Purple sound was John Lord's left hand on that customized Hammond. And my God, the studio shook, when John was playing. But, it was hard to capture that when you have 2 guitarists as well as busy drummers,
Yeah.
But I think we achieved it. I'm utterly thrilled with what we have. I think it stands up. The performances are as alive now as they were 35 years ago?
35.
And it was just, I'm thrilled. We've been so respectful to this stuff, the remixes we've been doing, and the Red, White, and Blue trilogy is actually the teaser albums for what's coming down over the next 5 or 7 years.
That's what I understand. Let's switch gears into that, because the Rock Album, you mentioned John Lord. One of the first things I noticed listening to that album was All or Nothing, and John Lord's his keyboard work. In the original release of that song, it was a little more buried. It is so front and forward in that song now. It just, my gosh.
It's the benefit, of all the stuff I've learned and having all the stuff I did with my pre-work I did with my co-producer, Michael McIntyre, and this new fantastic mixer, a young guy in his early 40s, and he comes up. We've never had a falling out. He's extraordinary, good ears. He stands up to me, which is more than a lot of people have the balls to do. But we've worked together as if I'm writing with a partner, with Reb or Joe. We had that immediate close contact, and he's a big fan of the band, and I think really that we've gotten the best out of these tracks. So some of them, I've had Joel come in and double Adrian Vandenberg's guitars on an album called Restless Heart, and added a keyboard player called Derek Sherinian, who literally is so incredibly good. When I hear him playing, it's like I'm listening to John all over again.
Wow.
He's actually very, very gifted, very nice guy as well.
That's saying something.
Very respectful and never overstepped the mark, and just beautiful work. Beautiful work. And it's, to me, it's like a total, but when we put the box set out, Stephen, we'll have the original album remastered to the best of the capability, but the CD one will be the remixed one.
Absolutely.
It's dynamite. It's a beautiful fusion of early sounding Whitesnake going into the, the chrysalis going into the butterfly.
It's a great way to put it.
Such a poet.
And then on top of that, there's a new song that we haven't heard before. It's new to us, I guess. Always the Same from the Flesh and Blood, sessions from 2019. And that song has a unique sound all its own, I think.
Yeah. Well, I was thrilled. It was, I was the only, if I can even say disappointment, the only disappointment was that as I was putting all of these songs together, until I discovered Always the Same, from the Flesh and Blood sessions, my whole, Tommy's represented on this trilogy, Tommy Aldridge, Michael Devin, Red Beach, they're all featured, and I had nothing of Joel other than Restless Heart. And then I said, we were going through the files, and I said, oh, what's this one? Let's have a listen. And it was a very old riff I'd had that I was preparing for a potential song for the Slip of the Tongue album way back with Steve Vai.
Wow.
So I blew the dust off it, and I said to Joel, do you want to see if you can finish this off? And so at least on the rock album, we have my fabulous band of brothers, the current Whitesnake, featured on the record. So I'm personally thrilled.
That's awesome. Before I have to let you go here...
And amazingly, Warner's chose that as the first one out of the box. Wild.
It's a great song. It's a great love song from a different point of view, I think, for you. You know? It feels like it's an ode to your wife a little bit.
Well, I got to tell you, when I got into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I said from the stage quite clearly that my wife and I are coming up to 30 years.
Congratulations.
In November, and all the love songs I've written. She's an amazing inspiration to me. And very rarely do we don't fight. There's an occasional skirmish. There's a few kitchen issues, as you can imagine over the last 7 weeks. But fortunately, I haven't had a bread knife sticking out my shoulder blade. We're the best of friends, life partners.
That's awesome.
And really, at first, I must tell you, it was very weird, Stephen, because all my hits have been like broken-hearted songs.
Yeah, a lot.
So
you're right.
Oh my God, I've got to write happy songs, Jesus.
Well, you've done that
But
from.
Thank God. I thank God for every day.
And before I let you go, I have to ask you. I have to tell you. One, we were so disappointed in most tours being canceled, and your tour being canceled. You were supposed to be here in August at SPAC. What's the situation with touring, and have you had your surgery, and how you feeling, and all that kind of good stuff?
Well, the circumstance is when I got back from Asia. I'd started off in Australia, and the first show was in Melbourne. Mm-hmm. The second song, Slide It In, is a big vocal, physical projection.
Oh, yeah.
Song. I had this awful sensation of popping in my nether region. Ugh. And it was like, oh, my God, what the hell is that? And it was very painful. Mm-hmm. And I knew it wasn't just, popping silk knickers. It was something physical. So I had to be very careful, and then, it was a very, very sparse schedule, so I had plenty of chance to recover, but my best friend became ice. And it's not really a lot of fun sticking ice on your bits and pieces, I
but
swear.
no.
But the moment I got back, I saw my doctor. He discovered a cyst on a vocal cord, which has vanished over time and not working. But he said, you should have these, they're called bilateral inguinal hernias. He said, these are dangerous. We've got to get you in. But literally, within 12 hours of him calling the Surgeon General of Reno, the government closed down anything that wasn't life-threatening.
Isn't that crazy?
At the hospital, so I'm still unable to work out properly, and I can't strain myself, which actually works if you're my age.
You can laze around and let your wife wait on you hand and foot.
No. If you see my Twitter account, almost every day I'll put a fun song up there. There's a song called Vacuum and Dust.
That's awesome.
I do the upstairs. It's a pretty big house, but obviously the housekeeper's not is in lockdown too.
Mm-hmm.
So I do the making the bed upstairs and vacuuming, and my wife does the downstairs. It's all hands on deck, bro.
It sounds very rock and roll.
Well, it's the funniest thing. I'm singing like 30 seconds or a minute of songs in the morning, just trying to uplift people's spirits. And
it's awesome.
And then I've got to get back to dusting. And Amazon, you can check my account at Amazon. I was just taking delivery of 2 brand new dusters because I broke the others.
Well, you keep dusting, and get back out on the road as soon as you can so you can come here to Albany, hopefully with Sammy and Foreigner. And
with respect, I can't see anything happening
until next year, probably.
This year, I really can't.
Yep.
Because number one, not only do we have to get rid of this completely and utterly, but all the venues are going to have to be sprayed down and disinfected, and people are going to have to be temperature checked going in.
Yep.
It's going to make flying. Oh my God! I was reading articles on how it's going to be in hotels, and it's past 9/11.
Yep.
9/11 changed in our lives, and all the inconvenience, other than the tragedy, but all the inconvenience it caused those of us who are regular travelers. We've got to be prepared for an entirely new game.
Yep, absolutely. David, I appreciate it. Thank you for the opportunity to talk, and you have a great day. And if you haven't had the opportunity to hear it, the new Slide It In 35th Anniversary remixed album is out now, and the rock album is coming out on June 19th, both from Rhino Records. And you know what? Why don't we go ahead and take a listen to the new song, quote unquote, from the Flesh and Blood recording sessions. It's called Always the Same.